Okay, we're on the road today.
And- Yeah, yeah. Saving everything for last minute here. Um, and I'm at a charging station at the moment,
Yep.
and it's a heat wave here. And yeah, I have some stuff at home that's kind of pending before I fly. So we'll have to make this a quick call. Maybe just 10 minutes today.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. What time's your
I'm
flight?
excited that nighttime. Yeah, but but yeah, there's always a bunch of things. I'm excited that you're hacking around on your bitter box. Pretty cool.
I
Lots of
mean,
kinks to work out.
it's
Like,
super cool so far. It would be really awesome. I should load it up I should start using it from my phone too, because that's the coolest thing ever. If you can have multiple
that's
things running on your phone.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
That is the goal eventually to optimize it for the phone. Yeah, it's been such a like infrastructure churn in terms of like just really nailing down all the conventions because it didn't matter that much when I was just using it for myself. But now I really need to really, decide conventions and like you, a typical workflow, like you are working in development mode. So you have your Rails server development and you should be able to, and but you should also have the option to like lock that down, but it should be really easy. Um, Let me know if in and out here froze for a second for me.
Yeah, it's
Um,
working okay.
am I coming through okay? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So like so like
We'll get what we
so,
get.
so like yeah, all right. So yeah, so you want to have that, like you want to have like a really nice iterative flow where you can see what you're doing locally when you're just like iterating with your agent, like developing stuff. You want that. And then you also want like a formal deploy mechanism. And you want those on two separate URLs. So you have like kind of like preview.potty and like production.potty, like on BitterGrid, basically, if you're working on that. And and that should all just be pretty seamless. And your agent should know like how to define like what you want there unequivocally, like without any fuss. Um, and then there's also the mechanics around like instantiating your terminal and tearing it down and reinstantiating it. Especially as I'm still like making changes and observing like the friction points you're seeing. Like ideally, you should be able to close your computer, just like exit your browser, right? And if like
Mhm.
your agent's running in there, it shouldn't interfere with them at all. It's just like an observer where you can optionally steer. And you should just be able to go right back to that URL that had your terminal open, and it just like drops in, and the stuff the agent's still scrolling by, stuff is still happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also should be able to terminate it and like provision a new one, and it should be very predictable in how that works. Basically, you should just end up in your root directory, and then you can choose to instantiate a codex or Claude or whatever you want, and either resume a session or do a new one. So these are all kind of basic things, but there's sort of a lot of edge cases around it, especially as I'm still like continuing to deploy stuff. And then the last thing was like credentials management, which I just see as like more and more like important in many ways. Like, okay, you want to plug in your Gemini key, just making sure that there's like a nice canonical way to do that, where the agent actually can't see it. Like, you shouldn't be having to paste it in, or even exit the session and do some terminal commands or anything like that. Agent should just be like, here's a URL, like to your Vault GUI, and enter this in and save it, and then like let me know, and that's basically what it should be like. And furthermore, you should even have like time locks on these things so that like you have all your credentials like stashed away, and in some cases you don't really want them like accessible if you really want to like lock stuff down. So it could be like agent could be like, hey, can you unlock this credential for me real quick, and then here's a link to do it, and then it's under your control, like they have no way to get at it unless you're like, okay, let me like unlock it for 5 minutes, so you can use it real quick. And so just making all that stuff like really convenient so that like you're doing like all these best practices, which like even like, a lot of like professional software engineers like aren't doing. Like I want everyone to just have that like out of the box where it's like it's really just one way it works and it's like the correct way. Um, So yeah, I think all this stuff it's kind of unforgiving, and it like seems like nothing's happening from your perspective. You're like, damn, like Mike just keeps like churning stuff, but it's like once it's done, and then like that never changes. Like that's just a bedrock that's good for like 10 years. So might as well like finish it, and yeah, sort of a one-time cost in many ways. But yeah, like I think it's close. It might even be like in good shape now. I haven't like I don't know if you've tried like reinstantiating your terminal, if things are like working well.
I haven't yet, but
Okay.
yeah, but it was working
Yeah.
well yesterday. It's really cool. Um,
Yeah. I think today you should be able to see the deployed prototype and like
yeah,
iterate on it, both in a like preview environment and in like a production environment, both. Mhm. Yeah.
it's neat. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just using it last night. I kind of
And
get it more.
good.
Um, like get why it's useful,
Hmm.
and maybe understand a bit better the positioning for it of like
Hmm.
how to talk about it, who you try to sell it to. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's like
Hmm.
I don't know. Is it a
Yeah.
prosumer
That,
device?
that's cool. Yeah, because exactly. Like I can explain it because it makes perfect sense to me. But just to an outsider, that's yeah, that's the communication challenge. That's really cool that you're starting to make sense of it. And like, yeah, I would imagine your impression is just like, oh, okay, this is like way more hardcore, but bridal power shopping on. Maybe turn off your video, John. I
Or
disabled my
audio?
video. Maybe that's better. We just go
Yep,
audio only.
yep, that works.
Can, can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't hear you, unfortunately. It's just
Oh,
chopping
okay.
up.
Oh, that,
Mm, I can't really hear you though. Let me switch you to the car audio. 1 second, okay? Let me see. How do I do this?